Um, we did Travis picking last time. We talked about that. We talked about my style of Travis picking, which is different from some others. Recall that we don't anchor. I don't anchor my little pinky finger, and I leave these fingers free. And I also don't worry about the thumb so much in doing a boom chuck type of rhythm. And so I experience a different type of freedom when I'm doing that. Now the tune I was playing, you might recognize as Wabash Cannonball. I selected this to talk about today because it has a particular type of rhythm that we can explore Travis picking further with. So let's start by doing that. First of all, I want to introduce a couple of terms that may or may not be new to you, but let's talk about syncopation first. Syncopation comes about when you're placing the note on the off beat, on an unexpected beat. And I'll demonstrate that for you in a second. There's another term, rubato, which is a classical music term. And what it means, rubato means actually literally stealing. What you're doing is stealing time from one note to go to the next. And it's done extensively in all different genres of music. It's done in bluegrass. If you listen to Clarence White, it's done in jazz. Ella Fitzgerald, it's done in, you name it, it's done pop music. The Beatles used it extensively. So we're going to learn a little bit about that right now. And incidentally, it's used in ballroom dancing. So in ballroom dancing, you might start on the beat prior to the one where you're going to be using a downbeat or stepping out. And also you might delay the next figure, the next part of the figure, because you're dragging out that particular note, that particular step for dramatic purposes. And it looks really nice. And in music, it's the same type of thing. So I'm going to play Wabash Cannonball. This is a hard one, but I'm going to try without any syncopation. So let's see how that works. Pretty dry and boring, okay? But what we find when we're using my style of Travis picking is that you have eighth notes going on. So you're playing on the beat and you're playing between the beats. And we don't really know which finger is going to match up with which note on which part of the in-between beats. So sometimes it makes for a pretty interesting mix. So for example, let's see if I can do this and talk about it too. There was a lot of syncopation in that. We were not playing on the beat. Now I alluded to hammer-ons and pull-offs last time. But that was a nice little place where you could put a little hammer on. And I've used pull-offs too. So all of these things are available to you when you are working between the notes and you're trying to fill in notes. So your syncopation, your rubato make for a very interesting mix, and they lend some interest to a song that might otherwise be kind of boring. Let's let's do a song called City of New Orleans. That's a Steve Goodman song that was covered by Arlo Guthrie, and he made it a big hit. And there's a couple of elements in there that I want to talk about. And I do this one in a G formation. And so sometimes I have a little difficulty thinking about what I'm trying to explain and doing the job. But remember I said I'm not too worried about the thumb doing a boom chuck? Well, in this particular song, I'm finding it really interesting that if I give it that treatment, the city of New Orleans is a train. And feel the rails rumbling neath the floor is one of the lyrics, and I find that that is kind of a rumbling neath the floor train type of a sound, and I kind of like that. So I've incorporated that in. I've also incorporated a pull off, a hammer on. No slides in this one, I don't think, but there's an interesting treatment. And I have to tell you, I got this from Arlo Guthrie in Alice's Restaurant. And it's a way of transitioning from the G chord to the C chord. And we do a, or, it's nice. You also heard that in Blackbird by the Beatles. And so what we're doing is we're playing on the bass strings and on the treble strings, and if you play them at the same time, you get a nice little transition there. So that's an interesting bit of music that lends interest to the tune. And I get that, I actually get into that tune and change keys after Wabash Cannonball. And I do that by pausing and then going into D, and then there was that pull off that you saw. And then when I want to get back to the C, where is it? Just hit a 7th chord and I go back. So that's something you can use also. And I think that'll do it for right now. Hope you liked it. Put your own spin on it. See if you like it.